Hi everybody, welcome back to Books and Cosplay. I'm joined by one of my favorite cosplayers on TikTok, and that is A. A is probably one of the most amazing cosplayers I have found on TikTok because they're one of the most positive and just they bring so much happiness to the cosplay world. And I'm going to give you a showcase of that today, but there's just so much great stuff that we're going to talk about. And A, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
So, um, now obviously, we for those of you who don't know how the recording process works, we just had a total error message. So now I'm going to say what I got to say earlier. And this is A's first time talking actually without a voice mod. And your voice is so pretty and I love it.
Thank you.
so, um, obviously, you have some really great cosplays, as we're seeing right here on camera as one of your ghost cosplays, but you have a couple of others, don't you?
I do. As of right now, I have Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy Marvel.
Which is
That's it
amazing.
so far. There are a couple more planned. So you guys will see those pretty soon within the next 6 months.
I'm so excited for that. I was excited for the Star-Lord one because you hinted at it, in some of your videos, and I didn't know what you were planning because 'cause you're just like, "Yeah," and then, like, you showed, like, the back of a jacket, and I'm like, "Who are you cosplaying as?" And I was trying to figure it out, and I was racking my brain, and then, obviously, Star-Lord came out, and I was like, "No! Really?" And I was excited. I love Star-Lord because he's a smart ass.
Oh yeah, I love them just for that reason.
Right? I love him so much, and I love that you cosplay him, and your cosplay of Star-Lord is amazing, your cosplay of Ghost is also amazing. Um,
Thank you.
but I think probably the thing that really made me follow you and continue to be a huge follower and supporter of you is your positivity videos and how you just bring so much goodness and, you check in with your community and you check in with people and you're just that's so rare in today's internet, which is
It
just
really
so
is.
wonderful. I love that you do it though. It's just wonderful and I wish more people did it, but yours just have that really great positivity to them. And they're not just like, "Oh, hey, I hope you guys are great." No, we're talking like a good 5-minute video, guys. Like they're intense, but they're really good. And I will admit there have been a few times I've gotten emotional because you're like, "It's okay." And I'm like, "No, it's not." So I think it's wonderful. But, kind of bringing it back to your cosplay, how did you get started in cosplay?
Oh, I have always wanted to cosplay. I did do a few cosplays when I was a teenager, but you're kind of just toying about. You don't really know what you're doing, so you just kind of throw it together with whatever you have. So I
Mhm.
did a Nick from Left 4 Dead 2 cosplay. That was actually kind of okay. That's a
Oh.
kind of easy cosplay. What else did I do? I also did an Iron Man from the Avengers. That one was okay. Other than
Nice.
that, nothing much else. I just kind of wanted to always do it, and it's helped heal me quite a bit.
Mhm.
Strangely enough, just being behind the mask, it just you can be who you wanna be, when you wanna
Yes.
be, how, all of that, and it's fantastic because, you're looking at yourself in the camera, and yes, you see the mask, you see the ghost mask like I'm wearing, but you also know that it's you underneath.
Mhm.
It's you portraying that character, you're telling a story, you're putting on a performance, acting, but within the process of acting, it becomes real. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely. I think that's probably one of the reasons I actually also got into cosplay. Also, a lot of people were encouraging me to because, I didn't like being on camera, but, to promote my books, I was like, well, I kind of need to, and to do podcasting promotion, I probably should be. And, I hemmed and hawed about it and I did do a lot of camera work with one of my previous shows, but I hated it so much. And then, of course, everyone's like, "Hey, you should just try cosplay." And I'm like, "But I don't know if I'd be good at cosplay." And they're like, "You don't have to be good." So,
Exactly.
it turned out to be this really great endeavor, and obviously now it is. And it was one of those things that just became so inviting because I didn't have to worry if the resting bitch face was showing because I'm autistic and sometimes I don't really process what people are saying and I'm able to control my face at the same time because my brain's processing. So, yeah, then I look like I'm angry or I'm not listening to you, or if I'm trying to control the face, I may not actually hear you. It's a whole thing. But now with the cosplay, I don't have to worry about that because the mask hides it all and allows me to just be me and be more invested in what I'm doing. And I love that it has given so many people, especially neurodivergent people, kind of a place to feel safe, especially on, as they call it, Beyonce's internet. So, and we're not able to really do that out in the real world because, well, thanks to COVID, we kind of are if you wear masks out in public. But if you don't, it's still really hard because we have to pretend like we know what we're doing. Half the time we don't.
Exactly. It's a challenge. It's definitely a challenge, but we do what we can.
Right, we do what we can in cosplay.
Right.
So, um, you have obviously chosen Ghost, and did you choose Ghost because he was easy or because you really liked him? Are you a Call of Duty player? Like, how did that one kind of come into being?
Ooh, Ghost is not easy, and I mean that in an emotional sense. If you know his backstory,
Yes, I
it's
do.
it's intense. It's intense, you know? Uh, my upbringing wasn't very great, so I just kind of latched onto that character, and I'm like, "Oh my god, him and I have a lot of stuff in common. What the
Mhm.
heck? That's my comfort character. It's speaking to me." So he was an easy choice to choose, yes, but to put it together, not for accuracy reasons, but emotionally, it was challenging
Mhm.
because you go through a process, you know? It's acceptance and grievance and all of that combined. It's difficult. It could be difficult.
I would say probably the same. When I chose Ghost, it was for two reasons. One, getting a skull mask is not difficult. They sell them everywhere nowadays. So that was easy, but also because yeah, he's kind of like a comfort character, kind of like my Dean Winchester is too. That speaks a lot to my mental health that Ghost and Dean Winchester are my comfort characters, but it's true. They bring so much. I don't know, it like, you're able to kind of resonate in their own darkness, and especially when you've known a
Yeah.
lot of darkness, then it's just like, "Ah, you and I, we get it, we get it.
Yeah.
I can relate to this character." But also I can relate to Soap because I'm pretty sure that Soap is neurodivergent because of the way that he is.
No doubt. No
No
doubt.
doubt. Especially for his affinity for things that, he can light on fire and make go boom.
That
So
freaking boom, baby.
Um, those are my 2 favorite comfort characters out of the Call of Duty franchise. But, yeah, I think that he's probably one of the ones that translates so easily across the multitudes because he's the one that didn't fit in for everybody. And so if you never fit in, yeah, he can be your comfort character easily. Because if you're shy and awkward and antisocial and, you just rather growl at people, guess what? You could cosplay Ghost.
Pretty much.
So, yeah. Anywho, um, but kind of bringing it back to your cosplay, why Star Lord? Out of all
Oh,
of the different characters in the universes out there, why him? Other than a
I've always
smartass.
Oh, Lord. You know, I kind of go for characters that I can see myself in
Mhm.
simply because it's comforting, you know?
Yeah.
Mostly because it's comforting. You know, Star-Lord, he lost his mom when he was young. I lost my mom when I was very young.
Oh.
And, it's just really sad. And then, he was taken and he had to grow up in space. He found out he had a dad, and his dad wasn't very good. My dad wasn't the best person, but he also wasn't the worst.
Mhm.
So I found a lot of similarities there. Plus the music, man. Oh my God. He
Right?
has an amazing taste in music.
Heck yeah, his playlists are just epic. I think that's
I love it.
probably why I think Star-Lord and kind of, like we were talking about before, Dean Winchester, put them in a car together
Yes.
and for a road trip, the playlist would be epic.
I
Oh
can
my
imagine it.
gosh.
I wanna be on that road trip. I want to be
Right?
on that
Just for
road
the
trip.
music. The music and the strange antics, and obviously they'd probably find some really great places for food because Dean loves food.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, it would be so much fun to be on that road trip. Yeah, that'd be great. So, um, what kind of plans do you have for well, that you can obviously tease because you don't want to give too much away. I understand that. But what kind of plans for future characters are you thinking about?
Okay. I have mentioned in previous videos vaguely that I do like Mass Effect, so there will be a Mass Effect in the future. Just, building the armor will be a challenge,
Oh
especially
yeah.
for people like myself. Very challenging. Take a lot of time and effort,
Mhm.
a little bit costly, so it might take a little bit longer. So I do have a few of those characters in mind. I'm just trying to choose a single one. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah.
And then I do want to delve into maybe OC content, OC Call of Duty. However, the idea I had, I think it already exists, but I'm like, maybe I could, just tweak it a little bit, kind of make it my own, and yet still be happy with it.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, those are the main two that I have so far. I'm kind of playing with a few other ideas right now, but they're just kind of just ideas right now.
Yeah, I feel that. Um, I have a couple of characters out there as well that I'm like, I need like a 3D printer and a much larger cosplay fund.
Right.
But as far as the OC characters, I would say go for it anyway. I mean, even if it kind of overlaps or, is in the same vein as somebody else, um, I think it would still be widely accepted and okay because so many people have very similar characters. Like I have an OC character that is very similar to a lot of other OC characters, mainly because, of course, we all bought the same mask off Amazon. So
Oh yeah.
but I think the story and what you bring to the character and how you do it, I think is probably going to be what, makes it, yours. So I'd say do it anyway. Why not?
Just do it.
Just do it. And that goes to anybody who's, listening or watching. If you haven't delved into cosplay, but you're like, oh, that looks like fun, I would try it, do it. Seriously, do it. And if anybody gives you grief about your budget or your cosplay, you come see me. I'll take care of it. No, no, you be nice, people. Be nice. So, in terms of that, I think it's really cool, and I would love to see what you would do with an OC character because, I mean, like I said, you bring so much goodness to the cosplay world already, through your videos and through all the different things that you do, and I love just the difference in characters between Ghost and obviously Star-Lord because they're so night and day from each other, and it's just such a fun transition to be like, "Oh, cool, Ghost video, Star-Lord. Wow, that transitioned quickly. Okay." But it's a very fun transition, so I think it'd be cool. I'm 100% your cheerleader and be like, "Yeah, do it."
Oh, thank you.
So, obviously, this is books and cosplay. Are you somebody who likes to read? And if you do you have a favorite book, either current or of all time? Or both?
Oh, I do not read very much anymore, but I did like the Harry Potter series quite a bit. Just
It's a
reading the books and
classic.
then watching the movies, you see the differences and the
Mhm.
similarities, and it's like, oh, mwah, chef's kiss. For the most part. Granted, everything does have its pros and cons. So,
Mhm.
you know, right now, though, I am in the middle of reading The Viridian Priestess by Katrina Kalandra.
Why have I heard that title before?
If
Oh.
you go onto TikTok, Commander99, they do a cosplay of the commander, and it is spot on.
Oh,
It is
that's where I've
fantastic.
seen it. Okay. Yeah, now
Yeah.
it's when you follow like literally, I'm not even joking, like 2,000 cosplayers that range from Call of Duty all the way to Book Talk and everything in between, then you just kind of go, Why do I know that? Why do I know that? Why do I know that? And then it's like, ah, that's why, because you've probably seen the cosplay at least once. Um, but yes, I think it's super cool, and I've heard really good things about the book. I have not read it. I'm really bad about even reading my own books these days because I've been obsessed with fan fiction, which is also a valid medium of literature. So, yes.
Yes, yeah,
We are pro fan fiction over here. So, um
yes.
but yeah, I think that's super cool. You'll have to let me know how the book turns out because if you like it, I'll pick up a copy.
I've read 2 chapters so far, and oh my goodness, I love it. It's enthralling. It's
Oh,
already just
lovely.
so enthralling.
Oh, that is lovely. So everybody who's watching, I will make sure to put a link to the book in the show description. Everybody and anybody knows how to get a hold of a copy of Harry Potter. I'm sure your library has at least 20. Or you probably already read it. So if you haven't, the books are great. I highly recommend them. There's so much great stuff that the movies don't have for the series. So definitely read the book series. It's great. If you don't want to purchase a copy, obviously go to your local library because I guarantee they will have a copy. I guarantee it. If not, they will find a copy from another library, which will be an interlibrary loan, which they can make sure you get a copy of it. So, either way, check it out. And the Viridian Priestess, is that the title? I want to make sure I got that correct.
Viridian Priestess,
Okay.
yes.
Yes, that one will also be linked in the show description so you can pick up a copy if you'd like. But also, again, check out your local library. I guarantee, again, if they don't have a copy, they will find a copy or purchase one for their library. So we are very pro library in this camp. So, um, do you have any like cons or any kind of events coming up where people can connect with you?
I was thinking about going to Kansas City's, Planet Anime in October. I'm still
Hmm.
thinking about that. Usually, I go with my buddy Squirrel, but we're still just kinda thinking about it. I would be going as Ghost, this version that you see.
Nice.
Um, Not 100% sure though, but next year I do plan to go to more cons, even out of state, out of
Hmm.
Missouri, out of Kansas, just kind of branch out a little bit, go meet people. That is my all-time dream is to meet my friends and meet other creators and just people in general. I love people. I do. I'm shy, but I love people.
Yeah, that's about how I am. I like people, but I also hate talking to people. But once you get me like warmed up and then I'm like, yeah, I'll never shut up and we'll be friends for life at that point. So
Yes.
yeah, I kind of, claim you like a puppy does. So
Cute.
but yeah, I think that's super cool. If you do go, I will hopefully get to live vicariously through pictures and TikToks. Because I unfortunately, thanks to COVID, I don't get to go to a whole lot of conventions anymore because chronic illness. Woo.
Whoa.
um, Hopefully one day I'll have a 3D printer and I can print a really good mask so that way I can have like the actual protection for it and maybe go to a convention that way. But again, those are cosplay goals that are expensive.
Yes, they are.
So, but yeah, this is super great. Obviously, you're on TikTok. Are you anywhere else on social media where people can connect with you?
I did start an Instagram when I first started, but I just abandoned it. It doesn't have any posts or anything on it. So
Mm.
just TikTok for now. I really do need to get back on Instagram and just consistently, keep track of that as well.
Many social media platforms is hard, so I feel that. I understand.
Yeah.
Especially when you have to deal with life on top of that, then it gets very confusing and you're just like, "Oh, do I have to do all the posts on that one and this one and that one?" Yeah, it
Yeah.
gets very difficult. But I do recommend if you do end up on Instagram, follow me and I will promote all your stuff and share it and do all that good stuff. So, because I support my
Awesome.
friends. Well, hey, this has been absolutely wonderful. Thank you for coming on the show. When you have new cosplays and new adventures, you'll have to come back and we'll talk about them, and it will be a great time.
Oh, thank you for having me. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. All right, everyone who's listening and or even watching, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for supporting the show. Make sure you go give a follow on TikTok and check out all the links in the show description. Also subscribe to my newsletter if you haven't already done so. There's a link in the show description. And yeah, it's going to be a good time. So take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, be kind to yourselves, and I will see you all next time. Bye, everyone.